Yep. All right. I guess we're back for Tetris, the Absolute, the Grandmaster 2 Plus. Uh, it's a pretty interesting game. This is where it gets absolutely nuts in terms of speed. You will see a bunch of interesting things in here. This game, also worth noting, has several modes. I will be playing two of them, the main mode and the one that's considered the hard mode. I'll let Burb explain. I'll actually start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so this is master mode. It's very similar to what we just saw in TGM1, but there are a few key differences. As you can see, the speed is much faster, and that is because he can instantly drop a piece, and then he manually locks it. And that really allows for fast movement in this game. It's also not entirely score-based. It has a lot of requirements in terms of speed and the stuff like that. For instance, he needs to do 2 Tetrises for each section up until 500 in order to be able to get Grandmaster in this game. He also needs to keep a specific time for each section. I think it's 1 minute and 5 seconds up until the middle of the game. And after that, every new section can't be slower than 2 seconds compared to the previous one, which is pretty hard, so you don't want to do any big misdrops or anything. What else? Yeah, the time for Grandmaster is 8 minutes and 45 compared to 13 minutes and 30 seconds from the last one, so he really needs to play fast here.
Yeah, I need to push myself like as fast as possible. The beginning is actually very hard. If you begin like seriously considering meeting all the M requirements, you'll see that 1 minute and 5 seconds for the first sections. It's really hard to get. You pretty much need the speed that I have right now. I guess we can explain a little bit about the rotating system. Not the rotating system, but I mean the up-down motion and Zenki moves a little bit.
Right. So when he pushes up on the joystick, it drops the piece, but it doesn't lock it. For example, down here he can, easily fill that. Just push up, drop it, move it to the left, and then lock it down. So kind of you can do some interesting twists and maneuvers that way. You see a couple of letters under his grade, ST and SK. They're medals that the game awards you. SK stands for skill, and that means that he has done at least 10 Tetrises at the moment.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
So
it means that I'm good on Tetrises per section. That was a bit scary.
So the speed timings with the gravity is the same as in the first game, but there are differences in the line clear delay and what else? Just like the time frame he has to buffer a piece and yeah. So it's a lot. It allows for a much faster gameplay, pretty much.
Yeah, this is pretty hard. Now the scoring system, like you see the score on the right, it means nothing. You might not look at it at all.
The game has an internal grading system, and not the one that you see, the one, but what actually makes that tick up to a higher grade. So that's why it's important to try to do a lot of Tetrises and maybe triples. Try to avoid singles.
That time is just wonderful. It might actually be dangerous because of the new time rule that's coming up. At the 2-second rule. I'd explain a few things about it.
Yeah. So when it gets to 999, one out of two scenarios can happen, but we'll talk more about it when it gets there.
Okay. I kind of know a little bit of things about the internal grading system. And right now, I can kind of guess where I am in the system. So this probably should give me S2. Yes, that's correct. Then I need to do one more Tetris, and this will be S3.
So it's a lot to keep track of. With the number of Tetrises, you need to make sure that you do a Tetris for each section. Except for the very last section, there's no Tetris requirement.
Oops.
So yeah, this game is kind of crazy that it needs to keep doing Tetrises at this ridiculous speed, and it just goes faster.
That's right. You can see the speed is a bit higher. The line clearing animation, the entry delay of the next piece is all of this has changed.
That's S5. It needs to get S9 before the game is over. Some grades come more quickly than others. They don't require as much points. Alright, the game is going pretty fast now, so I'm going to be quiet and let it focus.
Wow. I don't have to stack for Tetrises right now. I don't think it would go this well. There we go. It's very unusual that this happens this early. It won't be over at 999, so I will need some serious time. No!
That was right at the end too.
Yeah, I just needed like 2 more seconds. I knew something like this would happen during the stream.
So if he meets all the requirements to get Grandmaster grade, the game gives him a final challenge of playing through the credits invisible completely. The piece just disappears from the stack as soon as it locks down.
Yeah, what you saw was pretty much what kind of happens up until the very end. That's kind of what happens if you've trained long enough to actually deal with this challenge. And that would have been a PB by I don't know how much. Would have been a PB by like 8 seconds. That was just like absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it was a really good game.
That was just amazing. And I have to go even faster now. Don't worry, I'm not dealing with invisible anymore for this game at least. But we'll actually get to, I guess the best way I can explain it is the Richter version of Tetris, which is you play as Richter, you're very, very fast, you can kill everything, but if you make a single mistake, you're pretty much dead. I'll let Burb explain the rules of this game. It's extremely straightforward, and it's very on-marathon safe, but it's the mode I am really the best at. I pride myself over having a PB of 5 minutes and 18 seconds, which is the best in the West, and I really hope that I can make something out of it. So yeah, you're in for a treat. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so this is death mode. The game starts out very fast. It also goes on from 999 levels, where he needs to just survive. There are no really other rules. There's only one rule, and that comes at level 500. He needs to get to that point before 3 minutes and 25 seconds, or the game will not allow him to continue. It will just stop at 500. And from that point on, he just needs to survive. And up until level 500, the game just goes faster and faster for each section. Then it's the same speed for the rest, from 500 to 999. So you notice there's barely any line clear animation. It goes by really, really quickly.
Yeah, one thing worth noting, stacking for Tetris isn't worth it at all. It's the same, like the line clear animation is so fast that you just go for singles. Tetrises and triples are if you have no other choice, or sometimes there's a result of your stacking being clean. But aside from that, there's really no point in that.
Yeah, so as long as he gets to 999, he gets the grade of Grandmaster in the death mode. And here at level 300 we get a nice little speed up. This is one of the huge obstacles for new players. This is where the game gets pretty hard.
Oh, that's a new one.
Playing really fast is no problems meeting the time limit. That's a very good game.
Yeah, I'm satisfied with that. Yeah. So what you saw was 200 levels of recovery, and that's generally what happens in this mode. This is what I like the most. It's just the ability to come back as long as you just go as fast as possible and lock all the pieces. There's no main time difference aside from just pushing down as many times as you wish. So yeah,
In that way, it can be very calm to play, actually. Just there's no requirement, just survive.
exactly. Just reading a bunch of like the flow really kicks in. So yeah, I'm glad I was able to show like an M grade game of this. All right. I guess that's it for Tetris, the Absolute, the Grandmaster 2 Plus. Um, it's kind of a like it's a very nice game, but they actually made something that's way harder and way faster than what you just saw. Uh, and we'll explain a little bit as we go along, like why or how that's possible. But pretty much here, you see, I'm Grandmaster in this game. I am not in the next one. The next one has, I think, 7 documented Grandmasters
Yeah,
ever with the classic role.
something like that.
So yeah, you will see the name of the game is called Terror Instinct, and we'll be right back.
Absolutely amazing gameplay right there.
Yes, I was sat there watching it, just couldn't
Yeah.
believe it.
Yeah. We have a lot of donations coming in. We got $5 from Golden Kappa. Someone has a Golden Kappa in the chat, PogChamp.